unlike in Texas and other states, in Texas and Florida, they are not putting this up to the voters, right? Republicans, I don't know, they have a lot of money in their coffers. As far as I can see, the RNC has a lot more money than Democrats.
Who spent
a
more?
lot of them,
but you know what the difference is?
But they may not have spent more because you know you're going to lose.
Just
because
tell
the actual issue is,
Caitlin,
here's what motivated people in Virginia. The fact is that because Donald Trump decided to do a mid-decade redistrict in Texas, people believed that in order to level the playing field, you needed to ensure that Virginia acted.
But you know what the difference is?
Ridiculous is
what's
the one thing. Just to say, no.
With Texas,
neither one of you said a word about Texas.
Well, that's not true. I actually talked a lot about Texas,
where was Scott
and I wasn't happy about that. But let me just say this: the difference is Democrats have a number of seats still in the state of Texas. Now we can disagree on whether this made sense morally, ethically. That's a fair point. But in Virginia, you're eliminating all but one.
They took 5 seats
all but one. That's basic math. How is that at all fair? How's that fair?
You didn't give Texans
How's
a right
that fair?
to vote. You didn't put it up to a ballot proposition.
The question is, but how is it fair in Virginia?
The legislature,
Republicans with one. Would you be okay if we left Democrats with one congressional seat?
You know what I would be okay with? I would be okay with a ban on partisan gerrymandering across the country. And I wish you guys had supported that.
When the president, I mean, so clearly wanted this to happen in Texas, that it did set off this kind of arms race.
Of course it is.
And now it's resulted in this?
That's my initial point. This is not good for the country. Like, I'm a conservative. Hell yes, I want my side to do well. I strongly believe in my principles, and I presume Neera here cares a lot about her side, and she wants to see Democrats do well. But how in the hell is this good for democracy when both sides believe there is no interest in incentivizing on anything? We don't have to compromise. We don't have to figure it out. We don't have to work things out, because you know what? We'll have one red state, one blue state. There will be no purple states. There will be no party in the middle. How does that move things forward when you look at the things that this country is currently struggling with on the economic front, the education front, healthcare? You have China, our greatest adversary, that are moving leaps and bounds ahead, and we can't even govern ourselves appropriately. This should make any person in this country happy about where we are.
You know, I agree. I just think the way to have dealt with this is to have a ban on gerrymandering in any of these states. Mid-decade redistricting is really something has really happened very rarely. North Carolina did a few years ago, but we should really most people are used to decennial. Most states are used to it, like doing it every decade. We should do it, and we should actually abandon all this. And I wish Republicans had joined the Democrats.
Scott, if you were a member of Congress, would you vote to ban gerrymandering?
Well, I actually am rather protective of the states making these decisions.
That's a no.
I don't really have a problem with states making decisions about this. What I have a problem with in this case, look, Texas did what they did. They had a right to do it. Virginia did what they did. What I have a problem with in Virginia is you had a fair map, and you also had an independent commission draw it, and you also had the new governor, tell the people of Virginia during her campaign she wasn't going to do it. So this whole thing was built on lies, and the ballot question, if you read it, was a total joke. You showed the map of the districts. They're a complete joke. And so I think what they've done is they've basically disenfranchised 90% of the state.
It's against democracy to argue that you're against the voters.
I'm a Republican voter.